Hi guys, Ali Taylor here down at Heron's Reach, and in today's video I'm going to share with you a simple little tip that helped one of my pupils pick up over 70 yards extra with his driver. Right then guys, so I'm guessing the introduction got you interested. Now unfortunately I can't promise that I'm going to get you 70 yards. Might be more, might be a little bit less to be fair. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about a lesson I did with a pupil the other night, how he really is swinging it really well with driver, getting in play, but certainly feels that he doesn't maximize his distance. So what we spoke about was looking at the way he delivered the golf club. Was it absolutely optimal to help him maximize his distance? And what we saw is that the angle the club moved into the ball was actually on the way down. It actually got him launching the ball a little bit low. Actually made the ball spin a little bit more for him, which cost him some distance. So we spoke about how we'd like to get him getting the club moving up through impact to maybe launch the ball higher with a little bit of low spin. Now he actually said it's something he's very aware that he needs to improve, but he's really struggled with it, and he really finds that he can't do it. So we spoke about a really simple little concept and a way that he can get it in a nice picture in his head as to what he wants to look like, but a feeling and a movement that he can get that was absolutely huge in what he changed. Now, the numbers I'm going to talk about were actually ones that I demonstrated. So I demonstrated initially that with my club head speed at 105 mile an hour, got the numbers up here for you, I got the club moving down 3 degrees at impact. I got 191 yards carry and 243 yards total. Now for a lot of golfers, I'm sure they'd be happy with that. But then after the little change, the club head speed was 104.6, so actually slower club head speed. My angle of attack, the club was moving up 5.4 degrees, and the carry went out to 262 with a total of just under 286. So over 70 yards carry and 40 yards extra total. Now, like I said, a lot of golfers are very aware of what they need to do, but really struggle how they're going to do it. In today's video, you're going to be really clear on what you need to do, and we're going to get you hitting some really long drives. Right then, so like I said, this was very much brought around from a lesson I did the other night, and it was about improving the golfer's angle of attack with driver to maximize that distance for the speed he's currently swinging at. Now he is working on swinging quicker, which will obviously help, but if we can be as efficient as possible and really optimize what we've got, then absolutely more distance is there without you having to improve your club head speed. So, what is angle of attack? So it's the angle that the club is moving with TrackMan at full compression with the golf ball. So the club can either be moving down through impact, it could be moving level through impact, or it could be moving up through impact. And we all know that in order to absolutely maximize our distance, if we can have the angle of attack moving up, which is a positive number, that's going to help us launch the ball high and spin low. So I showed you the numbers that I created just to demonstrate the other night, but I'm going to hit some more shots on here, again using TrackMan to give you some feedback. Now for me, a lot of golfers, because they practice a lot hitting their irons, they get used to the club moving down through impact, and as a result, their low point of their golf swing is ahead of the golf ball. So they would generally see that from a decent setup, a lot of golfers, when they square the club up, it's very low. It's very similar to the other night. We can see there 106 mile an hour club head speed. It's a decent smash factor. The club's moved down 3 degrees. So my low point was 4.5 inches ahead. Carry was just under 200 yards and the total 243. So if you're watching this video, you are probably already aware that ideally we want that club to move up. It's going to launch the ball higher. As long as the speed's there, the ball's going to fly further through the air. And because of the low spin, the ball's still going to roll when it lands. Now, I think the challenge for a lot of golfers is they know they need to get the club moving up, but they really, really find it difficult. And I think for me as a coach, what I tend to see with a lot of people is they're very aware that they want their sternum and their head to be behind the golf ball at impact. And they're very aware about having this little bit of kind of lean of the spine away, which is created at address, and they then feel that they want to maintain that. So the big negative that I see is that in order to do that, golfers then do not allow themselves to move correctly through to the golf ball. So what they'll do is they'll swing back, the weight will move into that right side, they keep all their weight on their right side, and actually if they got their low point back here, they'd actually swing and miss it. So what they still end up doing is almost kind of hitting it like that, and still get that low point after. So I'm going to give you a little feeling that I think you'll find incredibly easy to get that low point behind the golf ball. So if we want to create more of that lean, yes, we know that the hips move that way, but they should be moving that way in the downswing anyway. But we're going to talk about adding what's called side bend. So here, my spine's straight up. If I were to shorten my right-hand side and bend to the side, you can see how my spine leans away from the target. So if I felt there, more side bend, straight away now, if I lean forward, you can see that's going to get me into more of the impact position I would like, even if my weight is on that left side, and that should get me moving up. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and feel that, swing back, we're going to feel that we put a little bit of side bend in, and then start that downswing. And do it slowly to begin with so you can really feel it. So back, side bend, and through. Now you might also feel that this helps the club swing a little bit more out to the right. That would be a very, very good thing. I did a video a couple of weeks ago that I'll put the link in the corner about should you hit up or down. And I spoke more in detail there about when you start getting your low point behind the golf ball, as good as it can be for maximizing distance, it could really affect the shape of your shot. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. If you want to look at that, click across and then come back to me. So, we'll do a couple more swings where back, side bend, and through. And even in the practice swing, don't be afraid when you do that of actually letting the club touch the ground. So we can see there I'm touching the ground probably 7 or 8 inches behind the golf ball. So the club is definitely going to be moving up by the time it gets to the ball. So we've done a few slow practice swings, even hit a shot much slower and just see if you can get that feeling. So we can see there, pretty decent accuracy. My club head speed's way back at 96 mile an hour. My ball speed at 135. So it's not my best contact, but my low point's behind the golf ball. The club's travelled up 3.2 degrees. Don't know why we've not got spin rate there, but my carry distance was actually the same on that as it was on the one where I got the club travelling down into impact. Right, so the good news is I have now moved my low point behind the golf ball and I have improved my angle of attack. So I'm then going to do some practice swings where I put a little bit of speed in. It's definitely quicker. Can definitely feel that as I'm coming down, I've got that side bend, body turns out the way, club's definitely going to be moving up. So let's go back to that more normal club head speed now and see what we can get. So felt decent. So it was reasonable club head speed, maybe a couple of mile an hour quicker. Angle of attack's been 5 degrees up. And there's my 264 carry and 292 total. So some really, really good numbers there. And you can see already there, over 60 yards extra carry, which is huge. At the moment in the UK, the ground conditions are soft, so that total being at 292 is lovely. And it's not 60, 70 yards longer than the total before, but that carry being so much bigger, when the ground's soft means you're actually going to see more distance on the tee shots, but it also means you're not having to worry about fairway bunkers that might be at 220, 230 yards. They're just not in play at all. Now, if you can get that feeling, how nice would it be if I could maintain that low point that far behind and then maybe swing a bit quicker? Now, I did say you didn't have to swing quicker. I think a lot of golfers can swing quicker than they do. So let's see if I get my low point behind and get that club really moving up. If I can move the club a bit quicker, can I get more than 264 with my carry? Okay, so it's marginally quicker. Again, I was nicely up with my angle of attack. Now, because my ball speed didn't really get there and the ball spun a bit more, I didn't see any extra carry. But the beauty is I'm still out there over 260 yards. And for any of you guys, I'm not saying you're going to hit it 260 through the air, but for any of you golfers that are watching who have really, really struggled getting that club working up through the golf ball, I want you to really work hard on what we've spoken about there. Back, let that side bend. Then as you swing, you can see that low point's behind. We can see where we'd be at impact. Weight's nice into that left side. Spine's leaning away. Low point's behind. The club moves up and you start maximizing the distance that you're hitting driver. Right then guys, so like I said there, no changes at address, maybe just teeing the ball up a little bit higher. I think for anyone who hits the ball down, we saw that I started on the white tee, then moved up to the orange with the castle, just so they're preset. But by getting that little bit of side bend to start my downswing, saw a massive difference in where the low point of my golf swing was, and therefore the angle of attack of the club at impact. And the huge difference that could make. And I showed you the numbers at the start, saw a massive pickup even in the session there, where it's demonstrating the difference. And if you can get more of that with your drives, you are definitely going to hit the ball further as long as we maintain the strike and everything else that goes with it. But if you can get hitting up more, it might be that as you change your technique, you might have to adjust your driver a little bit. That's where maybe somebody with a launch monitor can give you some feedback. But if you can get that angle of attack moving up at impact, you're going to hit longer drives than ever. And if we can hit drives further and be playable, we all love hitting shorter clubs into the green and scoring better from there. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you have enjoyed today's content and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Ring the notification bell and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.